the way around again. So that's very costly for Mark Blundell. Let's go back to Gary Gerould.
From the Penske cab, it was a 16.2-second stop for Al Unser Jr., and the crew told us that they did put in a half turn of wing on Junior's car, trying to trim up the characteristics for their final run now toward the checkered flag.
Everybody should be tuning in just as they make those last stops, hoping that they can get what they need into the car as Ribeiro comes across the line to exert his lead of the race once again. Scott Pruitt is in second. But now Andrew Ribeiro has some breathing room. He's got about 2.5 seconds on Scott Pruitt. As they come across the line now, here is Ribeiro at the line. There is Pruitt. 2 seconds, not all that much, is it?
At 200 miles an hour, 2 seconds is 200 yards. So you figure they're going a little bit faster than that, it's a little over 200 yards.
And yet when you're in the car, it can be a long, long way.
Well, one thing not to forget, even if you catch them, you still got to pass them.
Ribeiro, Pruitt, Gugelmin, Unser Jr., Bryan Herta. They're the top 5. We'll give them to you with 34 laps to go. Ribeiro, for the moment at least, can take it a little bit easy. He's got some traffic to deal with, but he doesn't have the pressure from behind at the moment. Scott Pruitt trying to pick up any draft he can, right?
Absolutely. He wants somebody to pull him down that straightaway and help him close up on that gap. He's going to take all the help he can get.
Around Davy Jones, in behind Salazar. Around Salazar. And the interval's coming down a little bit now. In fact, you may have trimmed a full half a second off on that lap. You also get a glimpse of Mauricio Gugelmin in third back there now. Unser Jr. is fourth, Herta fifth, 19 seconds back from the leader. Moving to the closing laps now. Bryan Herta sits in fifth, Gary Gerould.
And Bobby Rahal, who was out of the race, and we talked to him earlier, now in street clothes and with a headset and a radio on, talking with the engineers and talking to his driver. They made no changes on their last stop. They like the way the car is working, but of course now everybody's starting to run out of time. Bryan Herta in fifth place, and we're counting down to about, what, 30 laps to go, Paul?
Yep, we're down with 219.31 to go. And here was that last set of stops made under green. Bryan Herta making the difference there, in sixth, out in fifth. Everybody else maintained position. In sixth place now, Stefan Johansson. Best finish thus far has been sixth at Australia. Looks like he's going to match it. 13 different lead changes today thus far among 7 different drivers. One of the nicest men in the sport, too. Easy going, casual.
Yeah, very talented guy. Has designs watches, designs furniture.
Designs a go-kart track. Just opened a go-kart track in Indiana. In fact, if you come to Indianapolis this week for the Brickyard, Danny, I'll be more than happy to beat you on that go-kart track.
Yeah. In your dreams.
You, of course, will be part of the Brickyard 400 with us this week as Bob Jenkins and Benny Parsons join us.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that.
So on board Johansson. For the minute, the battle at the front is closing down. We'll be back. Tomorrow night on ABC, Dick Clark and Suzanne Summers host an hour of real people and real marriage proposals that'll make you laugh and warm your heart. Will You Marry Me 3? And then Emmy winner Marcy Walker has videotaped the wrong affair at the wrong time and in the wrong place. Overexposed, the Monday night movie here on ABC. Andrew Ribeiro, the leader of the race. He's up right behind Greg Moore, but right behind him is Scott Pruitt. Battle for the lead, closing laps, Jack Arute.
Update you on Christian Fittipaldi. He lost his right front wing. Didn't make any contact. It just flew off. Gary Gerould, he came in and changed it.
24 to go now. Scott Pruitt beginning to work on Ribeiro. Traffic beginning to be a factor. Pruitt's closed down in the last few laps. He was 2.5 seconds back. He's closed in. We'll look back from Ribeiro's car. Scott Pruitt, there he is, out and around Greg Moore. And look at him come flying. Whoa, down the outside, but can he stay there with DeFerrin in front of him? What's he going to do? Can he drop down, get around him? He has to come in behind Ribeiro. But if he keeps the momentum going, can he go around on the outside? Remember the battle last year? Al Unser Jr. and Scott Pruitt eventually decided in Scott's favor. Whoa! Drop back a little there, Scotty. Now he looks for room on the outside again, going into 3.
Sorry about that, Paul, but that was close.
No, don't apologize. This is great. Scott Pruitt now up high once again. Again, he has a slower car in front of him. Stefan Johansson, but Stefan comes down. He's not sure where to go. He's got the leaders behind him. Scott Pruitt comes down the center. Scott Pruitt still trying to hold it.
3 abreast through there. And it looks like he's going to make it stick.
And more traffic ahead as Scott Pruitt takes the lead of the race. But the game goes to Ribeiro now with traffic just ahead.
Let me update you on Ribeiro's problems. He's developed a severe push, guys. That's going to create the way he gets through this traffic.
And Scott Pruitt threads the needle again. Ribeiro now says, I'll get right behind him. They were 5 wide.
That was 5. I'm sorry, Paul. This is about as good as it gets this late in a 500-miler. And those guys are all trying to figure out how to get out of their way, and these guys are racing.
So Scott Pruitt has made his move, while Ribeiro is obviously fighting a car that is a problem, as Jack Arute has mentioned to you. It's the first time that Scott Pruitt has led a race since the first lap at Detroit, where he led from the pole. Gil DeFerrin back into the pits. His problems continue, Gary.
And this time it's all over. Another wheel bearing, it would appear, because there was flame around that right rear wheel, and we see Gil unbuckling and getting ready to climb out. What a tough day it's been.
Now, he was very definitely a factor while he was there. Scott Pruitt. Is this going to be back-to-back Michigan 500 wins for Scott?
I think that's something we haven't had for a long time.
Mauricio Gugelmin is another 5 seconds back from this battle. So he's still within attack range. 18 laps to go. Some pretty serious names out of this race. Fittipaldi, Ray Hall, Roberto Moreno fell out. Michael Andretti, Alex Zanardi while leading. Adrian Fernandez was running in second. And now we add Gil DeFerrin's name to that list. And if Al Unser Jr. can continue where he is in 5th place, then maybe he leaves here today with the lead in the points fight. Jimmy Vasser, as we've been tracking that points battle for you, is sitting down in 12th, 1 point. Now Scott Pruitt closing down on Little Al. So ready to lap the 5th place car. And look at Ribeiro. Ribeiro comes back at him. Drag race down the backstretch. Again, more traffic ahead. Ribeiro pushes to the lead.
That slower traffic just in front of him is Mark Blundell, who just passed Little Al.
Back from the leader, Ribeiro. If he was having a handling problem, he may have solved it now. You can work in the car with the anti-roll bars, can't you?
Absolutely.
So he comes around Mark Blundell, puts Blundell down. And in turn 4, we've got trouble. Look at the debris. You can see it back from Ribeiro's car. It's Parker Johnstone. Parker Johnstone gets into the wall heavy on the left side. but threw his steering wheel clear even as he was coming off the wall and quickly climbs out. Is he all right? No, he's not. Parker took a pretty good lick. Car came off of the wall hard, and there's quite a bit of debris up there in the corner. You could see it from the rear view on Ribeiro's car. Look at all that. That's got to be cleaned up, and there's no telling who ran through that and how it might affect the race. So we're under our 8th caution of the day. A lot of parts and pieces. Wonder what got him up there.
I don't know.
But what that's going to do is, of course, put all of those in the battle. Certainly the top 3, Ribeiro, Pruett, and Guzman, all right together as they'll come back and sprint to the finish. Gary Gerould?
While they work up there in the cleanup, Gilles de Ferran is now out of the car, 2 wheel bearings in one day. I know it's got to be frustrating, basically in terms of your championship hopes. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it was a real shame because we were running really well up until, you know, when Zanardi crashed right in front of us. The wheel really got us. And from then we experienced a little bit of difficulty with the handling after that. But before that, the car was really working well. But even so, I mean, for sure, we could have finished in the top 6, which really would have helped us in the championship.
How close was that piece of debris or wheel assembly when it came back on the left side? It had to be awful close to your head.
For you to have an idea, it took off the left-hand side mirror, and the whole screen of the car is all black with tire mark. So, I mean, I guess it was my lucky day after all.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
What a nice man, Gilles de Ferran. Good description, too, of how tight that was. So while we wait for a full report on Parker Johnstone, we are under yellow. They have to clean up the course, and we'll come back for that sprint to the checkered.
Target teammates, Alex Zanardi and Jimmy Vasser.
Alex? Hey, there's nobody better. I mean, he was born to drive.
I'm new to the Target team, but Jimmy has made me feel right at home.
Alex is the fastest thing on 4 wheels. Really.
Words cannot describe how I feel about Jimmy.
A second ago, Pruett radioed in, it's pitched. There is Pat Patrick. He's the owner of the team. So close, and yet so far away. Now, back to green flag. Ribeiro leads it. Challenging him is that car sitting one back. That's Mauricio Guzman. Al Unser Jr. is not in the fight for the lead, though he is right up there and running fast.
Challenging him is Brian Herta down there in that black and white car low. I think he got by in the second spot.
Second place. Guzman closes on Little Al, but Brian Herta really has turned the wick up on that one and is chasing Ribeiro. Mercedes v. Honda. Honda in the Ribeiro car. Here comes Guzman, finally trying to overhaul Little Al.
I believe that might be his teammate, Mark Blundell, right behind him. If those two guys could hook up, they could draft themselves up. No, Mauricio's broken away from Little Al in that pack, too. He's going to try to hold on to Brian.
Yeah, but Herta is really closing down on Ribeiro. Closing laps now. 243 complete. They come across the line with now 7 to go. And as they flashed across the line, it goes to 6 to go. On the backstretch.
Of course, Paul, he's got 6 laps to catch him. Now it'll be, when they come across now, it'll be 5 to go. He's got that to catch him, but he still has to pass him if he does.